Yes, we are live. Welcome back, my dear friends. This is episode number 120 on this beautiful Zero Point Healing Show. And today I have with me a medical doctor turned holistic healing practitioner. So it's going to be a very, very interesting conversation today, and I'm looking forward to it. Before I move on to my beautiful guest for today, just a short intro about me. I'm Vishnupriya. I am certified in 5 to 6 different holistic healing modalities. And through this journey, it felt to me like, oh wow, so many different modalities that exist and so many different things that I never knew about. So, all of these modalities I got introduced only when I was maybe 28, and I'm like, so many years I had been living in this world with absolutely no knowledge about all of these beautiful, holistic healing stuff. And I could see that every single modality had was so powerful. It gave me amazing tools. It opened me up to a totally different possibility. And that 1 year, the first 1 year after I got to know and learn and certify in so many different modalities, I was like, wow, I have literally done what anybody would have taken like 10 years to do. I was able to do it in 1 year because of such powerful tools that exist. And I'm like, what would it take for me to take these beautiful modalities and put out into the world, show this to more and more people, and give these possibilities to them too? So I feel the zeropointhealing.com, which is the web directory that I've built, looks like that is the answer that I got for the question that I was asking about. So that's how this entire platform was built. And as I said, it's a web directory. It consists of all holistic healing modalities, so many different holistic healing practitioners, therapists, facilitators, healers. And the platform now looks so beautiful with so many talents that we are, bringing and showing out into the world. So, if you are a holistic healing practitioner yourself, I welcome you to zeropointhealing.com. You can register for free, and you can also contact me if you're interested in this kind of an interview. You can contact me for that too. All right. So, with that, I'm moving on to my beautiful guest here. Welcome, Divya. It's such an honor to have you. So, tell us quickly about your beautiful journey, and I would love to stress Dr. Divya. So, tell us how this medical doctor turned into a holistic healer, and what's the fun you're having with that.
Thank you, Vishnu. Thank you so much for inviting and creating this space for me. I'm so honored to be here with you and spend this few minutes. To introduce myself, as you said, I'm a medical doctor, but I would like to introduce myself because I have a tagline that people call me a physician turned psychic. So I'm like a medical intuitive and also an empowerment coach, and I facilitate classes and teach people as well. And my main modality or the thing I do is being a holistic healer and a professional light worker, understanding the anatomy, physiology, and the biochemistry from my educational background, along with its correlation to the pathological aspects, and to help and to cure people more from a holistic approach because I'm just taught as a doctor to address the physical aspects. So I feel it's so rewarding to serve people through what I do, through passion healings, to heal these people as a whole in entirety and to witness cure for most of the chronic illnesses, especially which I believe that there was no cure for them as I was practicing my medicine. So that's how my journey started, and there were a lot of spiritual gurus and angels and like guidances that I've got through in my journey, which helped me to pursue and to believe and develop confidence in what I am doing. And there's so many approaches to healing paradigm as well, which we will discuss today, I guess.
Sorry, I was on mute. That's beautiful. And I feel your personal story is going to be really, inspirational for people to hear. So, do you want to share, what was that turning point, that incident, or whatever that event is that took you or that made you question, is there something else that exists other than this, medical world, for example?
Right. Absolutely, because that's the key to the change, the change in life. So it was like very much compartmentalized, calling myself as a doctor and being seen myself as a doctor in the family. It was such a compartmentalization, like it was so defined and constricting, it was so heavy. When my journey started with my own family, my grandfather, who I adore so much. His health started to deteriorate, so I moved to US to pursue my studies as a medical doctor. So when I heard this, I went to India because my mom called me saying, maybe we won't have your grandfather. You should come. You know how it is like, when you get married and come here, it's so difficult to go. So I made a choice that no, I'm not going to miss this. I'm going to go India and spend some time with him. So being and studying so much, I was going to every internal medicine doctor, neurologist, taking my grandfather because he had a neurological problem. He was diagnosed Parkinson's. Some of you might be familiar with Parkinson's because it slows down the person. And the most important thing is my grandfather was a singer. So singing is his passion. So morning, night, if he cannot sing, his life isn't there. So he's a songwriter, lyricist, and singer. So that was like, it was not only impacting him, but it was impacting my whole family. So when I go to doctors, like we read from books, and in book it said, there's no cure, there's no cure. So it was like defined, and they said that, and I can't tell that. I said, he was having this tremor, so he was banging the headboard of the bed every night, and nobody was able to sleep. So they said, no, there's no cure. We'll just give some medication. And so I had to tell this true fact to my grandfather that, there's no cure. But, the change came when he said, no, I know you're a doctor. You can heal me. I know, I trust you. So that kind of really quenched kind of that learner or that healer in my heart. There was no, I couldn't quench that thirst in me for that dialogue he said. So I immediately thought there is something more to it, and there my journey started. And I started to go and explore, because by then I had awareness coming through me telling that I this can be done, this can be done, but my analytical mind was never allowing me to do it. um, so I went out, I attended few seminars. One of the key persons in my role was my husband, who allowed me and you pushed me to learn. And you can do, there's so much happening, go out there. And then I attended seminars. I traveled all over the US to attend different stages and explore the possibilities. And then I determined myself, and I brought my grandfather to US. So everybody were like, "What are you crazy? You want to take this old man to US now? You don't want trouble. Don't want to put yourself in trouble." But I was like determined. No, I have to bring him, and I brought him. And whatever was coming through me as my channel and my visions and my guidance, and then with where I attended, I did try them. I must say, I really tried because I didn't know what was the result, and I did all of them on my grandfather. And guess what? He really healed. He really healed. I mean, he was on insulin for about like 25 years. So I slowly took off and weaned him off of his insulin. His blood sugars were totally controlled. And his HbA1c got normalized, which means he's no longer called a diabetic. And his Parkinson's subsided, and he started to talk. His tongue tremor subsided. He started to sing, and he sings now. And he came and he lived with me for 6 months, and we celebrated his 77th birthday. And this year he turned 80. He's still alive, healthy, and he teaches my daughter music online from India.
Wow, how does it get any better than that, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's so much of a inspiration for me, my family, because I didn't have trust in myself, but they did. And that helped me to focus on different avenues and different streams. And I promised myself, if I can help my family, I will come out with this to help others who are in need. And that's
Wow.
how my journey started with Passion Healings.
Wow, wow, beautiful. So now let's get into the new medicine for the new era. So, what is the new medicine?
Interesting, right? The new medicine I call, because we are in such an interesting times that everything is so much shifting and changing so rapidly, and people are just getting aware of everything. So that is where the new medicine for new era came into, because it is now necessary for people to experience better health, happiness, and joy, and to realize their own true potential, because nothing is greater than you. Like, you as a being are like so much like a super powered individual, you think it and that just happens. So it's good or bad, right? So the new medicine has got this holistic transformative healing approach, which is so effective for, you name it, any of the illness. It can be from anxiety, stress, depression, to any of the chronic illnesses. uh, the so-called new medicine is where I combine the Eastern medicine and the Western medicine. So for, and when this thing combines, what happens is, unknowingly, when an incident happens in someone's life, they give away the energy and their power in whatever they believe to be as the truth. So during that, what happens is, when they believe that that is true, the all the energy drain happens towards that. So for this is applicable to so many aspects in our everyday situations and different situations in our life, especially when people go to a doctor and get a diagnosis done, and they take that for granted, and they believe it as a matter of fact that that's the truth, and they live it and they give so much energy to it. So what happens is that readily manifests, that becomes their future, that becomes their life, that becomes their now and present and everything. So in this process, what happens is the energy is just given away instead of it being redirected to where it needs to be invested. So new medicine of new era approach, I will help them invest this energy in the right way, because the body has its innate ability to heal. And when we give that time for the body, it is miraculous. It's magical. It just unfolds and the person will heal. So in this thing, what happens is, I really want to focus and tell people that when such things happen in our life, not only like a medical diagnosis, any undue situation, uneventful situation happens, right? We get in there and we think we overcame it, but we don't. We just stay stuck in that situation, and we think that we have overcome it.
Divya, can you
But
hear me?
oh, it was like, oh, I was gone.
No
Thank
problem.
you. Thanks for holding.
No
I'm glad
problem.
I'm back.
Yes, let's
Okay.
continue.
Okay. So, yeah, where I left was, I was just telling about like how we get that energy and we focus on different aspects. So there is this escape hatch that happens. We think we overcome the situations, but then the reality is we don't. you know that's when things happen, like, we tend to eat even though we don't want to eat. We keep watching movies one after the other, seasons after seasons. We get into that TV, or you find some or the other thing because it makes you feel safe, to avoid those situations, thinking that as if it didn't happen anytime. So that was what I wanted to finish off, and then that's where the new medicine is so in picture.
Wow, that's so beautiful. So now, coming from the client's perspective, the viewers who are watching this, can you let them know maybe what kind of, let's say, issues or problems or challenges that they can come to you for, and what can they expect during the session? I know you kind of combine multiple modalities, so maybe with you it's going to be a different experience for them. So how would you kind of, put that out?
Yeah, sure. Because so what exactly I do is, like, when it can be any healing paradigm, like anything related to health, wealth, and relationships. These are the main areas where I get clients from, addressing any of these problems. Like, for example, I want to just give a quick example for anyone watching here, is like, if someone has, for example, has broken limbs and they're suffering with a lot of pain, so addressing it and fixing it, but just doesn't help it, but going to its point of creation, like, why did they have to create this, or when was the time in their life they felt broken? Today they have created this, because nothing happens in our life without we creating it. whatever is right now in our life is everything because we created it. So we'll have to, so my session with them is like, so I'll take them to a time back when they felt broken in their life. For example, if it's a client with a broken limb, and see which part of their life they felt broken before this incident happened even in life, and to investigate and take them through with me and handle those investigations with them. Because what happens is it becomes like an emotional ride over there. So then the heart and the mind have to become and come in sync. And because what they have been going through during those phases, it could be very painful or traumatic. So healing them and handling them and helping them facilitate during that part, and then help them heal, and dissolve all those traumatic emotions they have created. Because wherever they go, wherever they be, they still bleed from the hurt. So I want to be there to prevent it. Wherever they go, wherever they be, they still bleed from the hurt. But with me and with my sessions, it's like I'll make sure that they're healed and they speak or they live their life from a place where they're healed and not wounded. you know.
Uh,
So that's how it
so,
goes.
yeah, usually is it like a 1 hour or a 90-minute session, or maybe is it like a package, or how do you usually offer your sessions?
Yeah, my typical session is like 45 minutes. But yeah, I do offer packages because sometimes when it's chronic illness, there are so many areas to be addressed on different aspects and different levels. So I do offer packages for people when, after my first session with them, we talk about, I can guide them and tell them on how many they may need. Sometimes they need 5, sometimes they need 8. So when they come for those sessions, I do offer them some percentage, and then they can work with me. And I also teach the modalities for some people because in chronic illnesses, it is mainly important for them to understand how this works and how they're creating it. Because I can heal them and send them, but then there every possibility is there that they recreate it. So we don't want we want to avoid that. So my belief is like, prevention is better than cure. So I heard this like a good doctor can heal any disease, but a great doctor can prevent the disease. So I'm on that. I want to be there to prevent it before it happens. So then there's where I teach them.
Wow, wow, beautiful. So let's now quickly jump into our demo so people can
Sure.
actually watch the real show rather than just the talk show.
Right.
So, my dear viewers here, so
Yeah, sure.
Divya and I had a conversation, and then I asked her, okay, what kind of demo would you like to give? And she was like, okay, then both of us can work together, and I'm gonna be the client here, and
Yes.
she's gonna be the doctor. So let's
All
get
right.
started.
Sure, Vishnu. So tell me, what's your concern and when did that start?
Sure. So for today's session, especially from that medical background that you're coming from, I was thinking I can kind of address this kind of a cough that I have. And I have that for more than at least 1.5 months now. um, and I have never had. Normally I'm a person who doesn't manifest too many illnesses for myself. But this time I have done that successfully for some reason. Anyways, it felt like, again, physically speaking, I had this little pet at home. She's a little dog. So since she was born, or since she was bought, she had this kind of thing called kennel cough in dog. So it's a different kind of cough where they cough for a very long time once they start doing it, and it comes from deep
Yeah.
from their stomach and all of that. When I started coughing, I did not relate it to it, but after some time, it felt like, very similar kind of cough that I'm having as well, which is not a normal cough. It's like I'll keep talking, and suddenly, if I start coughing, I cannot talk for the next 10 minutes. Hopefully, that doesn't happen now. But that has
Uh,
been the case, yeah.
okay, thank you for giving me that thing. So, like to quickly dive in to avoid like a lot of discussion, because you gave me like a very important note, and you also have seen that it could be from the dog. But that's one aspect, right? So 1.5 months before it started, and I want you to tell me, every time you had this bout of cough and for 10 minutes you weren't able to talk, what did that feel like for you?
Hmm. Powerlessness was like not being able to do what I want to do, and uncontrollable, not being able to control.
Yeah, interesting. So the things that you mentioned, like feeling powerless and feeling out of control because you can't control it, you have to cough it anyway. You can't stop it, like feeling so powerless. So feeling powerless and being in that state where you can't control something, I want you to tell me, how does that help you?
Wow.
I think the first thing you might think that no, it doesn't help me, but yes, I'm telling you, it helps you. Some way it helps you. I want you to tell me how it helped you, even for the last time you had to cough.
Mm-hmm. It helps me to let go of the control, to
Okay.
what's that word? Uh, is there another word than the let go? Um, I don't have to control myself, kind of a thought there.
Yeah, just to be easy on yourself, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like for whatever you were doing in that moment, I from what you say, I can picture that you were maybe on a talk, or you were on a facilitation, or you were talking about something important, and suddenly cough comes in and you have to just relax. Your body's teaching you, just relax, let it be, let it go, that's okay, kind of a thing. But how so I'm going to help you release this in a way, like this can be for any of the listeners listening there as well, because any time in their life when they felt powerless and they felt like things were going out of control, because I just want to mention to you as well one thing, like when you cough, cough indicates resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Cough is resistance. When something is happening, you cough, right? But cough is a reflex. From a medical perspective, cough is a reflex because something goes into your respiratory tract. You either sneeze or cough so that all the dust is going out and you're being protected and safe.
Mm.
So, somewhere you're resisting some kind of a change in your life that has come through from the previous years. That resistance is showing up as cough in your life.
Okay.
So, where are you resisting? And what is all that you're resisting? And what is that you feel like if you can't control it, it would just come out? These are all the things and all that energy that came up right now. I would like to just destroy and uncreate it, from the access tool, because this is heavy, it makes you not be in the now. So that powerlessness state is teaching you to relax, and it's teaching you that it's okay, and it's helping you to overcome your resistance in your life. So one question I want to give you is, when was the time in your life that you remember you had to resist a change, and how old were you?
Is that the question? Is when was the first time in my life that I had to resist? Okay.
Yeah, the first time or the time that you remember vividly, I would go with that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, when you asked that question, I think what I got was there was some physically, we were moving from one house to another uh, due to some family drama that was happening. I might be 3 or 4 at that time. And I feel like I had resistance to that change. It was like, no, let's not move. Let's not go to another house. I'd love to be here.
Right. And that's the time you felt powerless too, because you had no choice,
Absolutely, yeah.
right? So since that time till today, resisting and going with those changes that happen to come in your life along the way. So as far as as I know about you, you've moved from US back to India. That's a big change too. So all these changes, like your journey from your younger age till today, in all those resistance, what has that contributed to you? What kind of a person did you become today?
So the question is, how has the changes contributed to me?
Yeah,
Right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, whoever I am today wouldn't have happened without those changes, and all of those changes were the gifts.
absolutely. So, would you like to acknowledge all those gifts today?
Yes. 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 Yes.
And can I help you transform right now in this very moment that you are now beyond these resistances and powerlessness states, and that you truly acknowledge who you are today?
Yes.
Create it now. And to help you ease with resistance and change, would you now also understand and step up in your life, step up with an acknowledgement about your life in every way it has contributed to you, and knowing that you're so grateful for all the journeys and the changes that happened in your life, that you can face the life and you can start your journey and create your flow without having to resist.
Yes.
Would you take that call now?
Yes.
Thank you. Create it now. And what would it be like if you did not cough that significantly with the kernel cough which you related with your puppy? If you didn't cough any further, how did that feel like for you?
Uh, feels like freedom. Feels like I've got the freedom.
Right? Can we teach you that freedom?
Yes.
And that you have the freedom without resistance, and you can live your freedom and claim your power and claim your light. Yes?
Yes.
Create it now. So, having freedom and claiming back your power and taking control of your health, your well being, and your as in your everyday life, what can you be?
Out of control.
Yes, can you be that out of control and out of definition personality from now on? So, I have this saying that I always say, like, you don't want to be the dead fish, because you might have heard yourself saying that you have to go with the flow. That's what we do when we are under control, going with the flow, and only dead fish go with the flow. If you're alive and if you have life inside of you, create your own flow.
Wow. Oh, so beautiful. Yes.
So yeah, that's the typical session. Like, it's a short and cute one,
Yeah.
but
I
I hope
mean,
you
like
enjoyed it.
10 minutes, what magic can we create? Wow. And it was, your questions were so amazing. And of course, me being me, data healing, access consciousness, and all of these tools that I kind of have as well. And I had been asking different questions around it. And interestingly, the kind of question you asked was like, oh, wow, I never thought about it that way. Thank you. Wow, what a beautiful awareness
Thank
that
you.
I've got. Thank you, Divya. And as a
Thank
wrap up, would
thank
you
you.
like to mention any particular program services that you're offering anytime soon? Do you want to mention any of?
Yeah, sure. I'm offering actually mentoring sessions now for individuals to help themselves. So this will be a one-on-one coaching with me, a mentoring program for self-improvement and self-development, and it includes even health, obviously, because that's where I come from, my major hit back. And also I'm teaching a few of the courses in theta healing for beginners to learn about what energy is and what intuition is, and to learn them and guide them and give them hours of practice under my guidance so that they can get so better at what they already know, and to a level of mastery. So that's some of the courses that I'm offering, and they can visit my website, passionhealings.com, and it's always on the events. My upcoming events will be published there. And I also have opened a Facebook group called Discover the Magnificent You, where I'll be there available, helping people with their questions or queries, anything they have. It's a closed group. So I really want those people who are really willing to, or have got this call for healing, and willing to come up and step up into their power to know that what's really true for them. So it's an invitation for all the listeners here to come and join me on that group if you're interested to get some nuggets of wisdom that I got to share with you.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow, that's so
Thank
beautiful.
you,
So,
Vishnu.
yes, as also if you want to book a session with Divya, you can just click the link right below this video and you can have a conversation with her. You can, let her know what kind of issues that you're facing, and she would be able to let you know if she can help you and what kind of package and service that she can offer you. Along with that, we also have a 10% off discount coupon code for you just for watching this beautiful show with us. It's 0 Point. So when you contact Divya, do let her know that you found her from 0 Point and she'll give you that 10% off discount too. Thank you. Wow, what a beautiful session.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Vishnu.
Thank you. It was a beautiful one.
Thank you, Vishnu.
Thank you. So, thank you, my dear viewers. I'm going to see you in my next show. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do subscribe and please do share this video, especially if you know of anybody with health concerns, chronic illnesses that they had been treating for a very long time. I'm sure this video is going to be a huge gift for them, a contribution for them. So, you can share this video with them. So, thank you so much for your support. I'm going to see you all next time. Thank you, Divya. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye, everyone. Thank you.